Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? So, what am I doing now? Heading to work. So I don't understand people with not wanting to pay diagnostic fees. We had a guy just come in the other day arguing with us about paying diagnostic fees. Did not want to pay diagnostic fees with a Cadillac with a 3.6 liter garbage motor. And his complaint was rough running. So he had already changed the mass air meter. It's 3.6. He already changed the mass air meter. This is work he did himself. He already changed the mass air meter. He already changed the coils. He already changed the plugs. He already changed the O2 sensors. And changed nothing. So he's arguing with us about diagnostic time. He doesn't feel he should have to pay diagnostic time. So it turns out he spent probably, coils are not cheap. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But I'd be willing to bet he probably spent $700-800 at least on parts, maybe more. Unless, of course, he got like the absolute cheapest stuff he could find, which people do that too. But he finally conceded, and he finally agreed to let us diagnose what's wrong with his car. And what was wrong with the car is it had a valve that was hanging up, or it has a valve that's hanging up. An intake, an exhaust valve. So what's happening is the cylinder wasn't building up enough pressure. Why it's hanging up, we don't know. We have to go further. But he's not sure what he wants to do. And basically what I'm getting at here is I don't understand how people can throw parts at cars, spend $500, $700, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 at not knowing what's wrong with their car. I recently got a message from a friend of mine, and he's not super mechanically inclined. I mean, he knows enough, and he could do certain things himself, but he doesn't know how to diagnose, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But he says he's got a problem with his ABS light that keeps coming on and off. So he wants to know if changing all 4 of his hub bearings will fix the issue. I'm like, why don't you just go get it diagnosed? Like, to me, it just makes no sense. I'd rather pay somebody $150, $200 to diagnose something instead of spending $600, $700, $800 in parts and then an entire weekend changing parts to not know if it's going to fix the issue. It just makes no sense to me. When I worked at the dealership, this is a grand one, if you ask me. A guy came in with a Hemi Ram, like one of the first generations of Hemi Rams. And I got the ticket. And he's complaining about it rough running, misfiring. Okay. So I go out there, I start it up, and immediately I hear in the intake. It was like popping through the intake. I'm like, oh, this thing broke a valve spring, or it unseated a valve seat or something. But the valve seats is a little less common on those. But I was like, okay, I thought it broke a valve spring, but I wasn't positive. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be misfiring, cross-firing, something, anything. So I get it in a shop and I start looking, and I look, and a Hemi has 2 plugs per coil, 2 plugs per cylinder. And the earlier ones had a coil on one side with a wire that wrapped to the other side. I don't recall if this was that style. I believe it was, because it was an earlier one. But I happen to notice, this thing's got all new coils on it. Look at that. It's got all new injectors on it. It's got a new throttle body on it. All right, so I immediately find out the misfires on cylinder 1. I pull out the cylinder 1 coil and I swap it with cylinder 3, one right next to it. Because, hey, you never know, new parts do fail, and I don't know the original reason for changing all those parts. All right, I swapped it. Misfire's still there on one. Okay. And I still hear that popping through the intake. So at this point, I'm like, all right. I pull out a spark plug, brand new spark plug. Pull out a spark plug. I quickly stick my compression tester in there. I do a quick compression test. Almost no compression, like maybe 10 psi. All right. This diagnosis has to go further. So I go into the office. I explain to our service writer what's going on. Okay, the customer happened to be sitting right there because we had two waiting areas. One right where the service writers were, and one in another area. And one in the other area had a TV in that, like a lounge room type thing. So the customer's like, "Well, what do you mean you have to go further?" Well, I'm going to have to do a leak down test to verify where the actual problem lies, or pull the valve cover off to see where the actual problem lies. I think if I'm not mistaken, we had a free, like, initial diagnostics when you brought your vehicle in, and that's why he was there, because it was free. So all of a sudden, this guy finds out, because it's dealership rates, so we were not cheap. He finds out it's going to be like a minimum of $300 for me to do a leak down test and everything else. He flips out, absolutely flips out on us. Why, I don't know. But he flips out on us, and oh my, we're such a ripoff, and this and that and the other thing. And it's like, excuse me? We're a ripoff. Like, this is not my department to get involved in. This is the office's department. So he's carrying on. So eventually the service manager comes out and is like, what's going on? Why are you so hostile? And he's like, I just replaced the throttle body. I replaced all 4 O2 sensors. I replaced the spark plugs. I replaced the coils. And your technician can't figure out what's wrong with my truck. So then I explained the situation to the service manager. And he's like, sir, you threw a bunch of parts at it that obviously didn't fix the car. And then the guy says, I spent over $2,000 to get factory parts. Well, where'd you buy the parts from? He bought them online. He didn't even buy it from us. So it's like, you're mad at us because you spent $2,000 thinking you knew what you were doing when you didn't know what you were doing. You knew enough to change parts, but you didn't know how to diagnose your own problem. But the dude was mad at us. Like, we didn't do nothing. It was you. It was you. You're the one who made that mistake. And then we get it all the time at the shop. Like, I've seen this forever. We get it all the time. Why should I have to pay for diagnostics? And I've often said to people, would you like to go to work and not get paid while you're there? Plain and simple. Easy question to answer. Would you like to get paid? Or would you like to be there, work, and not get paid? Because I like to get paid when I go to work. So if I'm going to go to work and I got to work on your car, somebody has to pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it, who's paying for it? And that boils down to those service contracts, Car Shield and all those others. If you have one of those, be mindful. A lot of those don't pay diagnostic fees. I got into this with a customer last week and told him, you may be responsible for diagnostic fees. So I looked his vehicle over, found the problem, and it took a bit. It took a bit to figure out what was going on. It was a running concern. It took a bit to find out what was going on. I called his warranty company. Nope, they're not covering anything. Nothing. They wouldn't even cover our diagnostic time because there wasn't a failure that they would cover. So it boils down to, and then when I told him, hey, you owe us an hour's worth of labor, which he already knew that was a possibility, he flipped out. Absolutely flipped out. He got nasty. He got verbally abusive. I made him pay. But it's like, he now knows what the problem is. And he even said to me, well, I'll just fix it myself. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm not working for free. That's not how this works. So anyway, just a quick video here. This road they repaved this road that I'm on right now, and it's terrible. It's like going down a gravel road. It's so rough. It's incredible. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, talk to you about that. Just things to think about, and things that I go through on a daily basis. So it's not fair. If you go to work, you want to get paid. Well, I go to work, I want to get paid too. The shop needs to make money. We're not a charity. Anyway, that's about it. All right, guys, I hope you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.